Hi y'all, I'm Maude. I'm a producer, composer, sometimes DJ, live artist that utilizes hardware synths. I'm about half in the box, half hardware. I compose my own productions and EPs and remixes, as well as I compose for vocalists. I do some scores for like fashion and short film, a lot of little different sound design projects, all in my studio here in the Arts District in downtown Los Angeles. I moved into this space about 3 years ago. Had to throw up some walls here, so just in time for the pandemic. Had a dear friend of mine from PMC, my speakers are PMC, help me acoustically treat this space with these great gig panels. We have my Jasper stand. A lot of these are my main, day-to-day synths and samplers. The Matriarch, definite staple in my sound and my productions. The ARP reissue is a beast. And then up here I have a lot of different samplers. The TR-8S, the old vintage EMX, I guess we can call it vintage, it's been 20 years, right? The Digitagged, and then I recently added the Cycles, which has been a lot of fun. The Mini-Log is one of my older keyboard synths along with the JX3P. This is my first synthesizer. It's actually older than me, and you can't beat an old Roland. So I have some auxiliary sends here. The KP3, the Microcosm, and then the vintage RE301 are all of my auxiliary sends. So any of the synths at any time can be sent to those effects and processed in their own channel. So we have a dry and a wet. Through the patch bay, and then under there is an Apollo 16. I also have the Elysium, which I got from Perfect Circuit. It's a great MIDI interface. I've tried a lot of different MIDI interfaces and I'm very hyped on it. It has 8 outs and ins for MIDI. So everything is being clocked via that in Ableton, so at any time I can go over here, play my push in the right channel, send MIDI to any of my synthesizers, which is so amazing. And then I love a 303, so I have the Cyclone bass bot that you can hear in a lot of my work. The Euro rack started really small, and here we are now. This is my dear friend Metro's little skiff that we will be jamming on shortly. My Euro rack has evolved, especially through quarantine. My main voices are plats, rings, the Godspeed. I really love using the ZDSP from Tip Top for really unique ways of processing my audio and my voices and all of my synths. And then just the hex mixer to keep everything really tight and clean so it can be sort of performed or things can be pulled out quickly. I'm all about individually tracking things so that I later have a little bit more expression over those things, because while I love jamming, I am a producer. I produce for vocalists, I produce my own stuff, I do shorts and scores, and I really enjoy having full capability in post so that we can really fine-tune the mix. The kind of brain flow and optimization really happens, with the UAD Apollo 16 and then both of these patch bays. So I have a lot of stuff just hardwired in the top. Most of the synths that I use the most in the keyboard synths. And then on the bottom, I have the ability to, on the fly, if I want to change it up. I have the TR-8S here, and I can patch this in and take over the ARP channel, and then have a little bit more workflow so I'm not rerouting every session, and I'm able to just like keep in my flow state a little bit longer. Down here as well, I have really been enjoying routing audio out, like vocals and different things coming out of my patch bay, coming in here, and then like coming into the ZDSP, and then taking the Euro rack channel, coming back, and then into Ableton, so that I'm really going full circle with my system of in and out. And then my auxiliary sends on this half of the patch bay are going to be my K oscillator, my RE301 chorus echo, which is a beast, and I'm still surprised I own this piece of gear, to be honest. And then the microcosm right here, which is such a beautiful expressive pedal for pads and swells and granular texture. But that's kind of how I use this as well when we have vocalists over. I use this headphone send right here, and we go right out of this so that we have a headphone mix for our engineer, for myself, for our vocalist. Yeah, and then it also just have always a bunch of storage in here for any of the little synths. I love a little synth that I sometimes patch just right into the front of the patch bay if I'm just like want to throw something around. I have a Liven, I have a organelle, I have an OP1, I have a little Roland Boutique in there. But these are kind of fun if people are like maybe new to hardware and they don't want to jump on the Euro rack or a semi-modular synth or like too much menu diving in an Electron. I really like to just get people kind of going and rolling, and we just patch right into 9 and 10 on my patch bay. And there's a Rogue MIDI going out and we're right in. So I have the versatility as well to change it up quick. So I like that too. Always a learning curve with new hardware usually, and so I like to say, like, how can I use this new item to continuously express and evolve my sound. I also have like staple pieces, and I think like I look for like really robust pieces of gear that I know are gonna go the long run. You know, like my old Roland pieces that are older than me are still like going the distance, and I'm so grateful to have these pieces because they still continuously give me beautiful sound. I also like trade a lot of gear with friends and share a lot of gear. I think that's really important to like just explore, continuously explore. But I like stuff that's workflow friendly. Like I have an Octatrack. It's not out here because I'm currently trying to still a year later get over the hump of how I want to use it. I think it's really important to dedicate a space, and like in your home, whether you go rent space, there's so many great places that have like little suites that you can do like a share. You can utilize Peer Space. There's a lot of great studios on Peer Space of, you know, lockout space where you can go for a couple hours, utilize that gear. Sometimes you can rent an engineer to just really dedicate the time. I think the space is important and the routing and all of that, but it's about the practice and just really getting into having the practice and waking up and however you start your day. While jamming is fun, I really like polished tracks and polished pieces of work. And so I really can take those elements and run with them in the DAW and utilize my arsenal of plugins in the DAW in a truly like hybrid sense.
It's effectively the same as pi in that regard. And so we use the dots to represent the boundary of nature. What makes this ratio so golden? The golden part of being. Mathematics and aesthetics. The golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence appear in nature every day, and arguably the strongest evidence of golden.